The boss jock has entered the building. You are listening to the Sportcat Show.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We have the one, the only Sportcat. I am here with you for the next 2 hours. We are on Dare Talk Radio. We are on Radio X Country, and Radio X Gold, and I don't know. We're all over the place. But our main source where you can see us, join the chat, because, well, we have some cool people in the chat. We have Denise. Denise is here, and she is always welcoming everyone. Chris is here. Welcome. My favorite Cubs fan. And I got Brenda hiding backstage here. We'll bring her in here. So, but yeah, so we are live on Dare Talk Radio and Radio X in Australia. Let me kill this echo. It's killing me. It's not like I'm having a stroke. So we are live. Do what?
It's all your fault.
Yeah, it is. We are live everywhere. So Wendell's in there too. I saw him somewhere. Hey, Wendell. And Wendell, I wasn't ignoring you. You didn't say hello to me, but I was trying to get some stuff done. This show runs up to the absolute last minute before we go live because, well, I'm trying to get the most interesting and breaking news that I can for us. So we're live on YouTube. Come over and find us under the Sportcat shows. The Paranormal Guys with a Z is the actual name of the show, or the actual YouTube channel. Please come over and give us a like, a follow, a share, and a sub. Especially hit that thumbs up button. That's the most important thing. Leave us some comments. Join our friends here in the chat. And as always, we are live on the Joker and Asylum and Harley. I don't remember the name of the channel. Harley and Joker, the Asylum. We're on Brenda's page, Outside the Box or In the Box.
Beyond the Box.
Yeah, them too. So we're in a box. And I'll get it right one day, Brenda. That's all right. I still haven't got Harley's right in. I don't know how long. So, and she is currently on a plane flying back to Ohio as we speak. So we wish her safe travel. She's returning from her journey from work. So, Brenda, you got anything before we kick this thing going?
I got a cold that you gave me.
Hey, I only gave you an STD. Let's get this story correct. So
you got to be able to reach for that, you know.
I'm talented. All right, well, it's 2:05 here on the East Coast. It is 1:05 in Chicago. Denver, it's 12:05. LA, well, it's 11:05, and you're shaking and rolling out there, I saw, right before we went live. And good morning to our friends in Australia. It is overnight in Perth, 2:05 a.m. Sydney, 5:05 a.m. And as we always question, Adelaide, it's 4:35, so... and if you're down where Santa is, it's 6:05 tonight. So we're starting to count time off. So, and Vatican City, it is 8:05 p.m. I read a story about the Vatican. I'm not going to run it, but apparently the Vatican is now opening a prayer room for Muslims. Not sure how I feel about that. I think that's rather odd. The Vatican opens a 500-year-old building for a prayer room for Christian Muslims.
It's 500 years old. I'd be afraid it would collapse.
Isn't it a contradiction of Christian Muslims? So
it is.
Yes, Wendell, I am on YouTube. I am on my regular page, Glenn Jackson. I'm on the Sportcat shows page. We're on Beyond the Box, and then we're on the Joker with Harley and Asylum. Harley in the Asylum with Harley and Joker. Hell, I don't know. We're on that one too. And somewhere else. I forgot. We're everywhere. But we're trying to get monetized on YouTube because I've got some great ideas and I want to get some more toys and do some things.
Did you remember to put underwear on today?
I am absolutely not wearing pants. So don't
Jesus.
Don't tell anyone. It's our secret, Brenda.
Okay. I'm not wearing any either, so.
Well, we can't see you, so that's, and our radio listeners can only hear you. And by the way, I want to send a special shout out. Let me bring this up here because I had some numbers for the past couple days. We have been kicking ass on Radio X in Australia. Thank you. in Dare Talk Radio. We've been doing very well there. And I saw that we're doing good on the Gold and Country channel. So I'm lobbying hard to try and do a country radio show on Radio X Country. So I'm trying really hard. So, and of course, if you're a true fan, you're tuning in from having coming over from the Thin Line Rock Station, where I just did my lunch music show. So there you go. And Chris once says that STD in or outside the box. Brenda?
It might be outside of it. I think you missed.
She has drainage. Okay. Well, let's just move on. So we're looking up at the sky today, and we see that, well, we're getting closer to that beaver. It's 21% illuminated right now. The moon is at a waning. Good Lord. It's a crescent moon. It's only 21% illuminated. We're getting closer and closer to the beaver. Aren't you looking forward to the beaver? You're looking forward to the beaver, aren't you, Brenda?
It looks like a toenail. That's what that looks like.
I'm not sure why I brought this picture up, but there you go. I'm still looking for where in the heck that 3-eye atlas is. It's they're hiding it from me. So it's past Mars but behind the sun. That's what they tell me. I don't know if I believe that. So we do have a story about that one. Let me 3D solar system just because I can. All right. Wendell says, are you saying it's a short story? Wendell, I'm not confirming or denying anything. So close. Yeah. Wendell, I wasn't ignoring you. I promise you. I just try and get to the last minute. I try and get some breaking news going so that we can. Why is it not working? Well, we can tell every tale. So why is this not working? I want you to go full screen. There we go. All right. So
well, everything certainly looks closer to the sun than it did before. So
yeah, it's just amazing how all these things, if you look at it, well, if you look at it from our plane, let's hold on here. We're the little blue dot. It looks like 1, 2, 3 are headed straight towards our sun, which is interesting because as they get closer to the sun, the possibility of them exploding is higher. So I don't always ignore you, Wendell. That's not true. Wendell, I have got emails I haven't answered from last week.
Wendell, go touch grass and hug a tree, okay?
Well, he's dying to get me and you on a show, and I respect that. I'm looking forward to doing that. But like yesterday, I did the show. We were up to the last minute because I was trying to get the breaking news for the show with Secretary of War Hegseth's plane, and then as soon as I left that, I forgotten I had a meeting with the Metro Fire Atlanta Fire Association I'm with. I'm actually a board member, believe that or not. And so I had that, and then I went straight into my regular Wednesday night show. And today I got an online doctor's appointment immediately following this. So it's just I can't seem to get caught up. I really can't. And I don't know if it's me. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm struggling at the moment to figure out how come there's not enough hours in the day for me. So, and I haven't even been on Facebook in 48 hours. That's saying something. Yeah. That's really saying something because Facebook is my jam. And I've been told that I need to go live on TikTok. So I'm going to explore it. I'm not sure that I'm going to do it, but I am going to open up a TikTok shop for some of the things I do. So we'll go with that. We'll leave it at that. But let's see. Where are we going here? Let's go into on this day in history. Is that where we're going next, Brenda?
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we get the news. And then we go into our regular stuff. I got space weather, but I'm just not. I don't know. So, all right. So we'll go this day. Wendell said, it's too bad we can't post pictures on chat. Well, Wendell, I don't know that we want to see pictures.
Yeah, Wendell, we don't, yeah.
Wendell, you can message them to me, and if they're appropriate, I will show them. How about that?
They won't be appropriate. You know that.
Chris sent me some pictures yesterday celebrating the Beaver Moon. I was very excited about. So, 1900, Great Britain and Germany. No, I didn't send you that one. Signed the Yanks Agreement, agreeing to maintain the territorial integrity of China and support the open door policy called for by the U.S. Secretary of State. In 1934, Mao Zedong and 25,000 troops began their 6,000-mile-long march from the south of China to the north and west. The Cuban Missile Crisis begins as President John F. Kennedy is shown photos confirming the presence of Soviet missiles in Cuba. And if anybody remembers, my father was actually in the Bay of Pigs, one of the ships surrounding Cuba. 1978, Polish Cardinal Karol Wojtyła is elected Pope John Paul II. 1998, former Chilean dictator General Augusto Pinochet is arrested in London on a Spanish warrant requesting his extradition on murder charges. What picture did you send me today, Wendell? I'll be honest, I probably haven't seen the picture. All right. Oh, yeah, I've seen that one, talking about the firefighters. Yes, I've seen that one, Wendell. Let's see. Today in film, 1923, Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio is founded by brothers Walt and Roy Disney in Los Feliz, California, beginning what has become the Walt Disney Company. 1912, Arnold Schoenberg's Piat Luder, you're supposed to pronounce that stuff for me, premieres in Berlin. Today in sports, the Black Power salute. 1968, Americans Tommy Smith and John Carlos famously give the Black Power salute on the 200-meter medal podium during the Mexico City Olympics to protest racism and injustice against African Americans. Brenda, did you know findings are published of a neutron star collision that occurs 2 months prior on August 17th, the first cosmic event observed in both gravitational waves and light, confirming that heavy elements such as gold results from such collisions. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I need more gold, so it needs to happen again.
1793, Marie Antoinette is she's killed. She's executed. French revolutionaries execute Marie Antoinette by guillotine at Place de la Revolution in Paris. The 37-year-old Queen of France, Antoinette, was condemned to die. She was convicted of high treason just days after her husband, King Louis the 16th, was also executed by guillotine during the French Revolution for the same crime. Her last words after wasn't she the only female beheaded by guillotine?
I think so, but were you going to say her last words after being beheaded?
Yes, her last words after stepping on the executioner's foot. Well, pardon me, sir, I didn't mean to. Schlump. I needed a sound effect for that. I wasn't prepared. 1954, Oscar Wilde is born. Do you know who Oscar Wilde is?
Who is that? I have no idea. Who is he?
He's born in Dublin, Ireland. He's a writer, a poet, and playwright known for his wit. He produced such iconic works as The Picture of Dorian Gray and the play of The Importance of Being Earnest. So he was a gay man during a time when homosexuality was criminalized. He was arrested in April 1895 for sodomy and gross indecency just 2 months after The Importance of Being Earnest, and only days after he lost a libel trial against a man who had publicly called him a posing sodomite. He died penniless in Paris in 1900 after serving 2 years in a hard labor camp. All right. What did somebody send me? Wendell sent me something else. What's a cool graphic, Wendell? 1859, Josh Brown raids Harper's Ferry. He led a federal armory in Harper's Ferry, Virginia. It's now known as West Virginia. We kicked him out. An abolitionist, Brown had hoped for starting a revolt among Southern slaves to abolish slavery for good in the United States. He'd even drafted a new constitution that outlawed slavery. Ultimately, Brown was thwarted and sentenced to death for treason against the Commonwealth of Virginia, becoming the first person in the history of the U.S. to receive such a conviction. Yet his failed raid is seen as a precursor to the Civil War, which broke out 2 years later in 1861 after the inauguration of President Lincoln. 1869, the Cardiff Giant was discovered. Cardiff Giant was discovered in Cardiff, New York. The stone giant was 10 feet tall and seemed to be an ancient petrified man, but it was a hoax perpetrated by cigar maker George Hall, who wanted to mock biblical literalists who believe that giants once walked the earth. Still, it fooled thousands of people who traveled from across the United States to pay Hall for the novelty of bearing witness to the figure. When the fraud was later exposed, people flocked to see the stone giant when it was shown at the 1901 Pan American Exposition. Go ahead, Brenda.
I said they did.
They did what?
It is. It's all in the Bible. It's like dinosaurs. They don't mention dinosaurs in the Bible, but however, they do mention dragons.
Yeah, and we have found the bones of giants. So,
yeah.
1888, Jack the Ripper's From Hell letter is delivered. We've talked about that one before. That's where he sent part of a human kidney.
Oh yeah. All things to send in the mail.
Yeah, you can't send stuff like that anymore. So, 1946, 10 Nazi war criminals are hung today. The high-ranking Nazis are hung in Nuremberg, Germany. 2 weeks earlier, the officials had been found guilty of crimes against humanity, crimes against peace, and war crimes for their activities during the Second World War. Among them would have been Nazi leader Hermann Göring, Hitler's overweight and drug-addicted right-hand man, but he took his own life the night before the execution by swallowing a cyanide capsule after he was sentenced to death. 1987, I remember this well. Baby Jessica is rescued from a well. Jessica McClure, nicknamed Baby Jessica, is rescued from a well in Midland, Texas. The 18-month-old girl had fallen into the well 58 hours earlier, prompting a media frenzy as audiences watched the rescue attempt on TV. She was hospitalized following her rescue and lost a toe to gangrene, but was otherwise unhurt. 2 years later, she met President George H.W. Bush at a ceremony in the White House, during which the president held her for the cameras while she stole his glasses to try them on herself. I'd like to follow up and see how she is. 2016, Dennis Hoff, a Nevada brothel owner and reality star, dies at one of his brothels at age 72. Despite his death, Hoff won an election for Nevada State Assembly over his Democrat opponent several weeks later. So you can be elected and vote when you're dead if you're in a certain party. So
my mom did. My mom passed away in 1998, yet she voted in the 2020 election. Don't ask me how that happened.
Well, Tiffany voted in Florida, so and she clearly was a resident of Tennessee. Monica says 2 years of pure hell is enough for me. I'm ready to move on. I'm not sure what she's talking about.
She's moving into a new house.
Oh, okay. I'm behind in the chat. Okay, I went and looked at the house and well, it's just further up. It scrolled up there. I didn't see it. I apologize. So, well, Monica, I hope wherever you're moving, it is a nice, safe place. Chris says Andy's serial killer name should be Andy the Roller. You know, Brenda, we may have to make that stick.
Andy the Roller.
Andy the Roller.
Oh my God.
And yet he still doesn't have a YouTube channel to listen to us. I don't understand.
He can listen. He just doesn't have his own channel where he can comment.
Well, does he listen?
Sometimes.
Well, I Andy the Roller, you need to be listening. So,
Yeah, if he's laying down in bed, no. If he's sitting up and on the computer, yes.
oh, okay. All right, so I found this last night while looking for other things to put on the channel here. This day trivia, October 16th, is a interesting site. We're not going to do the trivia unless you really want to, Brenda. I mean, do you know Gilligan's first name?
Gilligan's first name? Oh my God! Wait a minute. Dennis? No.
Dennis the Menace. All right.
Dennis the Menace was Gilligan grown up.
Ironically, I had Eddie Haskell's brother on last night. No, I didn't. Well, I tell you what, we will continue to go through this. Anyone in the chat wants to come up with or wants to make a
Chris,
guess.
Look it up. Chris will get it.
And well, yeah, I guess they could Google it. So let's see. Quote of the day: a man should never be ashamed to own he has been wrong, which is but saying, in other words, that he is wiser today than he was yesterday. That's from Alexander the Pope. I like a quote better that's similar to that from one of the SEAL team operators: own your shit. I think that has been a motto of my life. So, because if you make a mistake, you own it, you move on, you fess up, you go. Sometimes you do stupid stuff, but you know, Monica, I hope you do too. Oh, she's wishing that you get out of there as well. Yeah, you need to move to Florida, Brenda.
Florida? No, yeah. Florida's our vacation spot. Remember, Glenn?
Well, if I could buy that condo. October 16th, Lost in Space came on in 1997. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm telling this story wrong. According to the storyline of the TV show Lost in Space, October 16th of 1997 is the day the fictional Jupiter II is launched from Alpha Control. The TV series itself ran from 65 to 68. Chris says Gilligan's first name is never revealed in the show, but the series creator Sherwood Schwartz later said it was Willie in an unaired pilot interview. Chris, you had to have Googled that, but we're gonna check and make sure you're correct.
Willie.
Willie, he is correct. Willie, his first name was used in a press release for the show, but was never used in any of the actual episodes.
Willie Gilligan.
That's a odd name. Wendell says, don't do today what you can put off till next year. Well, that's a good one. Let's see. Where are we going here? And October 16th of 1992, the world was shook because a topless woman was discovered in a Where's Waldo puzzle. And you know, by today's standards, that would probably be a newspaper cartoon.
I know, right?
It's funny. I couldn't find Waldo, but I found the topless woman. The pilot for Gilligan's Island is finally aired on October 16th of 1992, a full 28 years after the season began. Although the pilot was filmed in 1963, because of cast changes, it was not aired until 1992. It differed from the series with Kit Smith as Ginger, John Gabriel as the high school science teacher professor, and Nancy McCarthy as Bunny, Jenny's co-worker from Kansas that become Mary Ann in the series. Some more Gilligan's trivia. The skipper character's name was Jonas Grumby. Oh no, we've already answered this. What was Gilligan's first name? Willie. That doesn't. Willie Gilligan. If you're going to make up a name for a character, that doesn't even sound like it flows. Willie Gilligan.
Dennis Gilligan would have been better. Just saying.
Here's some Killeen, Texas history. The Lubby's Cafeteria Massacre. George Hennard drives his pickup through the front window of Lubby's Cafeteria in Killeen and opens fire with a semi-automatic, killing 23 people and wounding 27 others before unaliving himself. As he was shooting, he was heard to yell, "All the women of Killeen and Belton are vipers. This is what you've done to me and my family. This is what Bell County did to me. This is payback day."
You know, right next door to the Libby's where that happened, there was a convention center, and it happened to be a police officer convention that day. And believe it or not, they got there like all they had to do was run across the parking lot. Didn't take them any time at all. But every year on this day, people go there. It is now a Oriental restaurant, or it's like a buffet.
Okay.
And the families of those people, they go there every year today, and they all sit in a big, large group and they eat together every year.
Wow. Interesting.
They'll be there today.
That's not far from you, is it?
Nope, right around the corner, actually.
Wow. All right. I don't remember that, to be honest with you. I don't know where I was in 91, but I don't remember that. Actually, I was in Virginia, but I don't remember hearing that. I didn't follow the news. Monica says her doctor started on her new med a couple days ago because she's been so depressed from not just dealing with the house falling apart, but a slumlord who don't want to do anything. So I don't notice. So I don't notice side effects. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well.
Oh well,
you need medicine to help you through.
Yeah, and those slumlords, well, I know how those run. Whew.
Yeah.
God,
I want to be one day when I grow up.
You're an idiot.
16th of 1928. Well, that's what I told Mrs. Sportcat. If I buy the condo and we're completely unhappy, we'll just rent it out. I'll be a slum landlord. In 1928, a patent is awarded on this day for a practical light bulb frosted on the inside. As a practical joke, new employees at the GE National Electric Lamp Company were assigned the task of making a practical light bulb frosted on the inside, as it was believed impossible to do until new employee Marvin Pemkick was assigned this task, and he did it. Don't you just got to paint it? I don't know. Maybe it seems too simple. The first commercial radio license was issued today in 1920 for KDKA. It was intended to operate as a private radio telegraph between Westinghouse, East Pittsburgh, and other facilities to avoid the business expense of paying for telegraph and telephone lines. But after the success of its broadcast of the November 1920 U.S. presidential results, it began providing regular entertainment programs. And did you know it is the actual station, that is the only actual station on the east side? Because if you're on the east side of the Mississippi, you don't have a K call, you have a W call. If you're on the west side of the Mississippi, you have a K call. And it is the only station that has a K call, KDKA, in Pittsburgh. To this day, it's been grandfathered in, and they are still operating.
That's where Monica's from, is Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yes, Pittsburgh. It's a great city, actually. Iraq War. I'm not a Steelers fan, though. The Iraq War on this day in 2002, the joint resolution to authorize the use of the United States Armed Forces against Iraq is signed into law by President Bush, authorizing what was soon to become the Iraq War. 1992, the Flavor Saver tomato becomes the first genetically altered plant approved by the USDA for growing and transport without a special permit.
And it went downhill from there.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have one. 4,250,000. Well, in Tennessee, you got the Granger County tomatoes. Let's see, 4,250,000 a day. John Hagen marries Roxanne Pulitzer. This caused his mother to cut him off from a $200 million fortune. He filed for divorce on December 2nd. And that averages out to $4,250,000 a day. Good Lord. I would be single. I would stay single for that. So
you better be quiet. Your wife might be listening.
Mrs. Sportcat never listens to my shows. October 16th of 1985, magicians Penn and Teller magically produced 500 live cockroaches and let them loose on the Late Night with David Letterman show.
Oh my God. I remember that.
Letterman had asked that they come back and play a mean joke on him, and that was the joke. All right. where the hell do you come and how do you keep that in your pocket? So
Right.
She says there's a Pittsburgh in Texas. She never knew that. I didn't either.
Oh,
This day in 1978, Pope John Paul II is elected, the first Polish pope. And we talked about that. Ann Landers, the Ann Landers column gets a new writer, Esther Pauline Friedman. Her twin sister was the original Dear Abby columnist.
Hmm.
1925.
What is that?
Evolution is banned in Texas. Textbooks containing Charles Darwin's theory of evolutions are banned in Texas by the state board. Book board. All right. That's just silly. We talked about that. And today in 1833, British tennis pioneer and inventor of the modern lawn tennis is born. All right. Suzanne Summers, born October 16th, 1946, from Three's Company, if you remember her.
I remember her.
Yeah, she was.
Chrissy Snow.
And she went on. No, was that her name? Chrissy?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. She went on and she had the Thigh Master, and yeah, she was pretty popular afterwards. So she died in 2023. Fred Turner was born today, a Canadian singer with Bachman Turner Overdrive. Taking Care of Business, 1974. You ain't seen nothing yet. Number 1.
There's too much that happened.
Barry Coben, American TV actor from Northern Exposure, was born today in 1940. Andrew Chichelko, a Russian serial killer, was born in 1936. Angela Lansbury, we remember her fondly. She was born this day in 1925. Eugene O'Neill, he was a famous Pulitzer-winning playwright, and he was born today in 1888, not 19. It's 100 years later. So, inventor of the variable pitch propeller was born today, Walter Rupert Turnbull. Did you know that? He's a Canadian aviation pioneer.
I didn't care. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well. Charge of the Light Brigade was on October 16, 1797. English soldier, he led the Charge of the Light Brigade, and for whom cardigan sweaters are born. 7th Earl of Cardigan, John Thomas Brudnell. There you go. Noah Webster. You remember who that is?
Who is that?
He's a schoolmaster. He's a schoolmaster, which I assume means a teacher, and he came out with the American Dictionary of English Language. Was born today in 1758. Here's your Leave It to Beaver trivia. Speaking of that, Barbara Billingsley, yeah, she was born on October 16th in 1915. Leave It to Beaver and June Cleaver. So there you go. I didn't realize she was the voice of Muppet Babies. She was an Airplane. Huh.
Denise said she'll be on the list tomorrow. What list?
What? Look, I'm on a list.
Are you gonna be on the things that happened this day years ago? What's going on? What'd she do?
I have to keep up with this. The god of the internet, Jonathan Bruce Postel, an American computer scientist, internet pioneer, referred to as the god of the internet. He was responsible for assigning addresses to domain names and editing RCS, requests for comments, also known as Postel's Law. Be conservative in what you do, be liberal in what you accept from others. He was born this day in he died in 1998. I always thought it was Al Gore that invented the internet.
Tomorrow is Denise's birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Denise. Remind me and I will play a birthday song for you. Well, I can't really play a music song, but we'll do something. First American trained flying ace of World War I, Douglas Campbell, died this day in 1990. He was an American aviator, known for the first American flying in the American unit to achieve the status of ace when he downed his 5th enemy aircraft. He and Lieutenant Alan Winslow scored the first victories by fighter aircraft of an American flagged vessel. Interesting. Yeah. Hey, and I found out yesterday. Remember we were talking about how Venezuela scrambled their F-22s,
Yes.
F-15s. They waited until after we had gotten out of their airspace to launch. So
Oh,
they
well,
knew.
of course.
They knew. We
Of
better
course.
not mess with them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh,
I'm shaking in my little Angry Bird socks. What
Yeah.
about you?
Absolutely. Chris says the Al Gore, that is fake news. So,
You are fake news.
yeah,
You
well,
are fake news.
I live by that motto. I am fake news. Porky O'Tay, American actor
Hey.
from Little Rascals. He was Spanky's little brother. He appeared in 42 Our Gangs films. O'Tay. He died in 2005 on October 16th.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Rick Jason died October 6th of 2000. He was an actor from the show Conway, Lieutenant Gil Hanley. And let's see here. We'll just skip through here. Shirley Booth, American Tony Emmy winning. Tony Emmy. I can't look at it. I can't look at it and read it. Actress Hazel died today in 1992.
Oh, Chris, I can sit up here and make fun of him for you.
I can't look at it and read it. I can't look at it and say it. So
Don't look.
Oh, it's National Feral Cat Day. So everybody excuse
God.
my actions today. It's National Feral Cat Day. It's World Food Day, Conflict Resolution Day, Dictionary Day. Well, that's probably because of the Webster guy. The Global Cat Day. Wow, I like it better when it was National Feral Day.
Shut up,
There
it's
you
Cat
go.
Day, not yours.
That's right.
Damn.
Get smart about credit day. You usually do that after you get out of college and realize you can't pay all this shit back. International Credit Union Day, International Shakeout Day. It's National Bosses Day, National Department Store Day. Let's be honest. How many of us still go to a department store? I mean, honestly.
But if it doesn't, well, I don't even go to Walmart anymore. So I've been to a department store since I was a kid.
Yeah. Maybe when I'm in Tennessee, but that's not really considered. I mean,
well, you've been in a mall, right?
Well, yeah, but not in a long time. I can't even tell you. Well, I think there's a mall still here in the Atlanta area.
Your true colors are coming out.
Maybe, yeah, my Yankees coming out. It's National Liquor Day. Hey, that's a day to celebrate. National Veterans Barbecue Day. It's Spirit Day. World Allergy Awareness Day. And World Spine Day. There you go.
Yep, today's definitely Allergy Day.
Get to know your customers day. I don't know why. The customer is always right, but I never liked them. I worked retail. National Sports Day.
A long time ago, I used to be a general manager of a fast food restaurant, and my motto was they were not always right. They could kiss my ass. That was my motto. No.
Well then. All right, we'll skip ahead in time here as we're looking to see if there's any birthdays. Big Joe Williams was born in 1903, a Delta blues singer. I don't know who that is. I see. We go through looking at these, and I don't know my history.
To like the 80s. So, then we would know more.
It's the Homeopathic Medical College of Pennsylvania. It was the first one to open in 1848. Ironically enough, I was just a few credits shy of being called Dr. Jackson, a homeopathic doctor. It's algebra. It got me. We lost Brenda. I don't know where she went. She'll come back. 1869, the first indoor plumbing. Wondered where you went, Brenda. Where'd you go?
I'm right here. It blinked out. I don't know why. It's your fault.
Hey, Brenda, the first day of indoor plumbing was offered to patrons at a Tremont House. It's a hotel in Boston in 1869. Did you know that?
Nope.
Indoor plumbing. All right. I thought Brigham Young opens in Utah, Provo. This day in 1875, the Nickel Plate Railroad between New York and Chicago opened for business to transport patients, goddamn, passengers. Good Lord.
Uh-huh.
My paramedic showing. 1901, Booker T. Washington dines at the White House with Teddy and Edith Roosevelt, prompting condemnation from both sides of segregation at the time. So it proves even in 1901, a president can't do anything right by either side. 1916, nurse Margaret Sanger opens the Brownsville Clinic, the first family planning clinic in the U.S. We talked about Disney. 1936, Lou Gehrig, Iron Horse, was voted MVP. National Boxing Association froze all boxing titles held by anyone serving in the armed forces during World War II in 1942. 1943, Chicago opens the new subway system. Speaking of department stores, Woolworths. You remember Woolworths? They opened this day in 1952 in San Francisco. Did you remember that, Brenda? Did you ever go to a Woolworths?
Yes.
Okay.
But when I went, they had like the counter that had the ice cream and, you know.
Chris says today is Wendy Wilson's birthday. She's the redhead Wilson Phillips. I always loved her. She was Hart, correct? Is that right, Chris?
Wilson Phillips? That wasn't hard.
You sure? I don't know. I saw Hart live in concert, but
I don't know.
Was day 289 of 2025. 66 days until winter begins. So here we go. Let's see. I don't know that I want to ask this trivia question. What can I use to get rid of a mildew smell in a leather bag?
Throw it away and buy a new one.
Baking soda? I don't know. I don't know why you have mildew smell in your leather bag. Get a large plastic garbage bag and sprinkle baking soda. I was just going baking soda, perhaps a quarter cup, and that will get the smell out of your leather. So there you go, Brenda. If your leather,
and then you'll have baking soda all over your bag.
Yeah. You know, do you want your bag to smell, or do you want baking soda?
Look, you can't cure one problem with another. You throw it away and buy a new one.
That's right.
Just saying.
All right. Full moon beaver. The full beaver moon is coming. I'm looking forward to the full beaver. So,
well, if I get another one of them beavers in my backyard, we're gonna have some problems.
I'm kind of concerned about you saying you have beavers in your backyard. So.
Oh man. Susie got them all over her property too. She had to run a pipe for water so they would stop burying her natural spring water.
Gotcha.
They're a pain.
Was the best day, October 16th, is to kill plant pests, mow to slow, quit smoking. You said you already quit smoking, so.
Yes.
I just vape now. So 289th day of 2025 and the 25th day of autumn. So let's see here. We'll just skip through. We've read most of the birthday. Italian mountaineer Reinhold Messner reached the summit of Lhotse in Nepal, becoming the first climber to ascend all 14 of the world's 8,000ers mountain peaks more than 8,000 meters, or 26,248 above sea level. In 1969, the 8-year-old New York Mets defeated the Baltimore Orioles 5-3 and becoming the first expansion team to win a World Series. And as Andy will tell you, the Baltimore Orioles haven't done anything since. So today's quote, "Yes, I'm a dreamer, for a dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world." That's from Oscar Wilde. Yeah, I found if I stay up past 3 a.m., so it's rough. So today's number 9. Countries thought to have nuclear weapons capability in 2025. United States, Russia, UK, France, China, India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel. We have not got confirmation on North Korea or Israel. It's suggested. All right. What else we got here? Where we go from here, Brenda? We're not doing too bad on time today, Brenda.
Okay. Let's
So
go see if there's anything mean happening.
Say what now?
Let's go see if there's anything mean happening. Where are we going now?
Well, let's see. At 2:31 Eastern Time, the Kremlin aide says the call with Trump was initiated by Russia. The phone call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin took place at Russia's request, says a key Kremlin aide. In a broadcast on Russian state media, Yuri Yushkov, during the phone call, Putin told Trump that supplying Tomahawk cruise missiles would harm the peace process and damage Russia-U.S. ties. As a reminder, Tomahawk missiles have a range of 1,500 miles, which would put Moscow within reach of Ukraine. According to Yusuf, Budapest was suggested as a suggested meeting location by both Trump and Putin, and they both immediately agreed. He says Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, will speak by phone initially, and the two countries will quickly prepare for a summit. That's good news. That is really good news. High-level Ukrainian figures already in the U.S. ahead of the Trump talks. So, yes, he's here kissing the ring, trying to get more money out of our office. I'm sorry, we're not paying all of the federal employees and funding our government. No.
Yeah.
Go away.
Come to work, get paid.
Wendell says he just Googled Brenda in her podcast and cannot find anything, but yet he Googled me and found a lot. There's a lot of me out there. So
I put it in there, Wendell, in the chat. Go hit the thumbs up while you're there.
I have been podcasting since probably 2004.
Yeah.
Not consistently, but on and off. So Donald Trump said there's been great progress made during the call, but he did not outline any. Well, he shouldn't. And they're meeting in Budapest, Hungary, which is good news. They spoke for more than 2 hours on the telephone, according to the White House. So Carolyn Levitt says the call between Putin and Trump lasted over 2 hours.
Wow.
UK and EU to try very hard to derail peace, according to Russia. Well, yeah, because they're warmongers. We want peace. So
that's going to be an expensive phone call.
We're not paying for it. The government's closed. Come on. Let's see. Yeah, we're going back in time here, and the possibility that we're changing our stance and not going to give them the missiles. Well, we shouldn't give them the missiles. So
yeah, I think that was a ploy anyway.
Not only is it a bad idea for peace, it's our money. I paid for those. So
did you see what Chris wrote? Okay, go ahead.
It was a big and beautiful phone call. So much information was passed on this call. Many people are saying they have never learned more from a phone call in history. Chris, if you only could do an impersonation of Trump and could send me a voicemail that sounded that, I would.
That would be awesome.
Zelensky, he's kissing the ring. He's already in town, but on Friday he's going to meet at the White House. He wants a bigger.
He wants money.
Yeah, he wants money and he wants a bigger missile. That's all.
He ain't getting nothing. He needs to stay where he's at and go home.
Agreed. And this came in as breaking news as we were coming on. A 3.1 earthquake jolts the Bay Area on Great Shakeout Day. Preliminary 3.1 earthquake near Berkeley, California. It occurred Thursday morning at around 9:23 a.m., which was about 4 hours ago, just below UC Berkeley's Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and above California Memorial Stadium. Interesting, that's below a museum, or not a museum, but a university. The depth was 5.8 miles, according to the USGS. Go ahead.
They don't really feel them there unless they're, 5.5 up. So those little ones right there, it's just enough to maybe piss off a cat.
To me, that would be a big one, but I live in the South. So the earthquake comes on the same day as Great California Shakeout, which is the annual earthquake drill, and just several weeks after a series of moderate earthquakes have jolted the Bay Area, also with the epicenter near UC Berkeley. All right, and I don't even know why we have to report this story. I mean, understand it's breaking news, but I thought we were done with him, but no. Senator Mitch McConnell, he's a Republican from Kentucky.
Oh, God.
Caught on camera taking a nasty tumble in the hallway of the Senate office building. The 2-year-old was en route to the Capitol for voting. He grabbed an aide's side seconds before he went down. McConnell, who announced in February he would not seek another term, was quickly helped to his feet by an aide and a guard. Why do we...
Wait. I happened to look up. I missed that. You're going to have to rewind it.
Well, I'll make it full screen for you. So.
Okay, yes.
I say again, Mitch McConnell is down. Mitch McConnell is down. So.
There's nothing to trip on. He did that on purpose.
No, he's old.
Well, I know, but I know old people that can still walk. Look here. Look at this.
See the guard look at his feet.
Oh my God.
I am not making fun of
Okay,
this.
so we should not be making, we shouldn't be making fun of elderly people.
I don't want anybody to think of making fun of him.
But look, he grabbed the guard first before he went down.
He grabbed his aide. But wait a minute here. Hold on. This woman behind him. She
pushed him.
Yeah, I think she better have something to do with that. Look at that. Yeah.
He pushed him.
He's trying to ignore. He's trying to get away from her, and yet she just pushed him down. See, I need to figure out how to loop
pushed
this.
him.
Yep, there it is. She pushed him. I'm not making fun of an elderly man falling. I want to say that again.
You know what? I'm so sorry. Biden did it better. Biden did it much better. It was more epic when he did it. Yeah.
Footage was captured by a left-wing activist group called the Sunrise Movement. I don't care who it was captured by. Why does that have to even be included in the article?
It's kind of funny that that's all they recorded.
According to a spokesperson, he is fine. So I did not know this. The lingering effects of polio in his left leg will not disrupt his regular schedule of work. I did not know he had polio.
It was a big, beautiful fall.
It was.
Oh my God.
Chris, I need your help with that one.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Florida is suing California.
What?
And I got to say, I read this article and I am here for this. I stand for this.
Can you do that?
Orlando, Florida. Florida Attorney General James Uttenheimer announced a lawsuit against the state of California and Governor Gavin Newsom in the U.S. Supreme Court over California's sanctuary policy on immigration. The lawsuit follows the arrest of him, an undocumented migrant, for the deadly crash on the Florida Turnpike in St. Lucie County that resulted in the death of 3 people. He received his driver's license in California's. Nibs has said that. So he made an illegal U-turn. They are culpable. They care more about their love affair with illegals than protecting American citizens who are victims and suffer every day. The crash involving Singh has intensified after the sanctuary policies, with critics arguing such policies enable undocumented migrants to evade federal immigration law. The outcome of this lawsuit could have significant implications for state-level immigration policies in their alignment with federal law.
Are they the ones that are getting the driver's license that say no name?
That was actually New York, but California. New York is actually the worst, but California was the one where there have been the most. The most innocent victims because of their policies.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way of wording it. But yeah, New York was the one that no name
provided. No name provided.
Yeah, you're now. Now I do have a funny Tennessee story about this, but that could be similar to that. I went to high school with a kid by the name of JB. This is a true story. Future Farmers of America. I won't give his last name, but when it was time to get our driver's license, he went to THP and he put down his name as J. B. And, he didn't have a middle name, and his first name was JB. It was on his birth certificate. And this is back before the internet. And the lady at the counter said, no, you can't have that. You have to have a middle name. And so he thought he was just going to fill in the blanks. He wrote J. only, middle B. only. He got his license. It was Jonely Bonely.
Jonely Bonely.
Knox County, Tennessee. He was in my Future Farmers of America's class.
Oh my God.
Bonely. From this day forward, he was known as Jonely Bonely.
I'm gonna try that when I go to renew my driver's license. I'm gonna turn around and tell them that no name provided, please. See what they tell me.
J only B only Jonely Bonely. If anybody follows, he actually went on to be a semi-popular comedian out of East Tennessee. So,
and that started his career, I bet.
No, he was always the class clown, but yeah. Oh, well, as we were coming on, PayPal and Venmo are having outages, and thousands of people are unable to access their monies. So, according to Down Detector, it's being reported all over the United States. It's heavy here in the Atlanta area, out in the West Coast, San Francisco and LA, probably Portland and Seattle, and as well as up and down the East Coast. So if you're a PayPal or Venmo user, you can't get your money right now. They're down. Oops. So I imagine it means they're being attacked. So just to guess.
Or they're taking your money and running for another country.
I hope not. That's where I got my slush fund hidden from Mrs. Sportcat. So.
Oh, you're doomed. There goes the condo.
You're just now figuring that out. So. We broke this live yesterday. The Air Force jet that Hegseth was on diverted for emergency landing. An emergency landing while the Pentagon chief was traveling in Europe. The U.S. official said he was coming back from a NATO defense ministerial in Brussels en route to Joint Base Andrews when the windshield cracked. Hegseth spokesman said the plane landed safely and the defense secretary, he's war secretary, was unharmed. Why do they keep calling him defense? Didn't we change the name?
Yes.
It happened over the Atlantic and south of Ireland when the C-32A, a military Boeing 757 flown by the 89th Airlift Wing, declared an emergency, descended to 10,000 feet and diverted to Royal Air Force Mildenhall in England, according to open source flight tracking, which that was us. The tail number was 98-00002. It's one of the Air Force's oldest C-32s. When we back, the United States from NATO defense ministers meeting, the Secretary of War Hegseth's plane made an unscheduled landing in the UK due to a crack in the windshield. Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said in a statement provided to Air and Space Forces magazine, referring to Hegseth's secondary titled authorized by the Trump administration. The plane landed based on standard procedures and everyone on board, including the secretary, is safe. It's unclear who else is traveling with him. including any other high-ranking U.S. officials or military officers. So, in the past, they had no traveling press aboard. So, interesting. He's got that whole plane to himself. That's my money, buddy. You better get a smaller plane. If it's just him, get a smaller plane. So, a lot of other shows are talking about this. This is Saturday, and it's No Kings Protest Day. We're going to start seeing the fences go up in D.C. probably today, this evening, and in a lot of areas in the country for the No Kings protest.
I'll be in my
and they
house.
are preparing for a possible Trump crackdown.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to point out, if he was a king, they would not be allowed to have these protests. Do they not understand how this works?
They don't.
So, millions of people are expected to protest Donald Trump's reach for more executive power at No Kings rally across the country this Saturday, and organizers and supporters are worried about the presence of federal authorities in some of those cities. Republican leaders have linked without evidence rallies are expected across the United States to terrorism and political violence. But some protesters and organizers and their supporters said they were more concerned about what federal response to these gatherings might look like than about the demonstrators' possible illegal conduct. Now, I will say, I support your right to protest. I believe everyone has a right to protest, even if you're riding nude on your bike through the streets and laid out in the middle of the bench. Yeah, I support it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but hey, it's your right. Rock on. But there are troublemakers in every group. So those are the people we're worried about. So,
I found out why they were doing that nude riding stuff and the nude lady in the wheelchair. I found out why they were doing it.
they couldn't afford clothes.
No, they were doing it so that the people that were out there doing the podcast would get in trouble with YouTube.
Well, simple. You just blur it out.
You got dummy people like me who don't know how to do that. So, hey.
I guess you can't do it live.
No.
Yeah, I would say you probably can't blur it out live.
Right.
But, there's several apps that you can do that with. So, so there's concerns for violence on both sides of this. There's several shows that are calling doom and gloom, and we're all going to be locked down by Friday afternoon. And I don't believe we're going to have any of that. I think if he was going to declare martial law, he would have already done it. I don't think that this is. Now, if these protests get out of hand and the government has to step in and do something, well, then he is.
Chicago is pushing buttons.
Well, Chicago's been pushing buttons, and they are on the bubble. As far as I'm concerned, they are on the bubble as far as what could possibly start the next.
Do you remember Elizabeth? You remember Elizabeth?
Yes.
Elizabeth was walking to the store and she got hit by a hit and run out there in Chicago. And they got him. And guess what?
He ain't from around here.
Exactly. She can't walk. It damaged her lower spine. She's in a wheelchair.
They let the guy go, I'm sure. He didn't mean it.
Probably.
Yeah. He didn't mean it. So this article is from Notice, and they go on to highlight the violent possible extremism on both sides. So they are fair in their article. I don't think personally it's going to be that big of a deal, but there are troublemakers in both sides. So
yes.
I don't think, personally, will I go into a big city? Will I go into Atlanta during this? No.
I won't even go out my front door. I'm
just going to say, would I go into Atlanta anyhow? No. So I do worry for my coworkers in public safety, though, because they are going to be right in the middle of it, whether they're driving an ambulance or a police car. So, Chris says Chicago is pushing buttons, pulling levers, flipping switches, and turning knobs. They are trying their best. I really sometimes wonder if it's not between Pritzker and Newsom who's trying to become president first. I'm honestly, who is trying the hardest? So, because both of them.
I'm voting for who is pushing the hardest to have their constituents tie a rope around their waist and throw them in the water.
Here's the deal. We've got a few years before we have to worry about it. Let's solve today's problems before we start worrying about what's going to happen in the next election.
I know.
There's a little bit of time for that.
Has anybody ever read that book, the Barron Trump book with the last president?
No, I haven't. I wish I had a copy of it. No, I haven't.
I have it, and you really should read it.
Send it to me. Can we get electronic or?
I'll have to look on my Kindle.
Okay, there you go. Chris says that Putin picture that we're displaying must be after the big, beautiful phone call. NATO jet scrambled to intercept Putin's spy plane off Norway as World War III fears escalates. And let's just, he did have the plane up and he did violate their airspace.
Oops.
But his aircraft is much older than any of the others. So, yes, he may have been getting intelligence. Yes, he may have been doing that, but that plane is very old. So I'm not sure that he was doing more than poking the bear. I mean, I really. So, but they scrambled 2 F-35s in a quick reaction alert. So from the military, there was a response. And they probably had to slow down to get close to the plane. I mean, they can fly circles in that plane. So I think he's just poking the bear. So I don't know.
Trump probably told him to do it.
DHS vows deportation numbers will increase and lays out a detailed plan. On Wednesday, Alex Marlowe Show, the DH Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, discussed deportation numbers. Congress has given us the funding to be hiring more than 10,000 new ICE enforcement officers. 5,000 have been hired, so we're certainly on our way and expect the numbers to rise. So they're saying that they're going to keep kicking them out. If you want to come to this country, great. Come in the front door.
Yeah.
Legally. You know?
Don't crawl through the windows. Don't break down the back door. Come through the front door.
Criminal alien TikTok influencer who posted an ICE raid alert. Well, she's been deported to Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
The illegal alien social media influencer who filmed and posted information videos about ICE raids in California was deported to Colombia last week. Tatiana Malif Martinez, a Colombian national, was arrested in August over her previous convictions for DUI, driving under the influence and illegal presence in the United States, according to ICE. 24-year-old TikToker had been posting on on TikTok about ICE activity. And, well, guess what? She got caught up in the raid herself. And she was here illegally, and she was a criminal, and she was sent home. So I don't know that she'll be able to use TikTok over there. You should enjoy your freedoms while you're here, lady. So
yeah.
Yep, she's been kicked out. So I hate that. But you know what? You broke the law. Get out. Sorry. It doesn't seem like it's that hard of an issue.
And what gets me is people don't realize you go to another country, you have to live by their rules or half of them will kill you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've traveled outside the country and we had handlers.
Yeah.
I have been informed of some crazy rules, laws, whatever they are, but they're their country's customs. And when you're there, you have to abide by them. So yeah, that was one thing they told us when traveling outside the United States, do not get drunk. Even Canada has a very, very strict policy on drinking and driving and DUI and drunk in public. And you can be arrested and charged and kept in Canada. So they were like, don't drink if you go to Canada. But I mean, it wasn't just Canada, but I'm saying we were told explicitly what you can and can't do. And so, so according to Outkick, Trump has issued black operations kill order for Venezuela. President Donald Trump has authorized a covert CIA operation inside Venezuela. The U.S. and the dictatorship Nicolas Maduro appear to be locked on a collision course with no off-ramp. Trump wants Maduro gone, and there's currently a $50 million bounty on his head. The 52 long-range bombers flew near the coast. That's actually incorrect. They flew directly over his palace on Tuesday in the clearest sign yet of imminent action. There's also multiple naval assets in the region, as well as F-35 stealth fighters. So the lethal action order has been issued and told to Congress. So he's also authorized the CIA to use covert action inside Venezuela, according to the New York Times. They described the move as stepping up the campaign against Maduro. The order allows the CIA to conduct a range of operations in the Caribbean. So, New York Times further reported that it's unclear if operations are already underway or simply being drawn up. If I had to guess, we're probably already there.
Yeah.
Now, and the people on the tip of the spear, we're not going to know they're there. They're not going to know they're there until the very last second, and then it's probably too late. Pack your bags, go to a country that's friendly with you, and be gone. So, because there's the biggest pissing contest, and we're going to win. So, Chris says you go to a hotel and you're paying a customer, but if you don't follow the rules, even though you give them the business, they can toss your ass out. Sneaking in here should be no different. Yes, I got in trouble in a third world country for over-tipping a waitress. I didn't know you couldn't tip a female waitress in that country, and I got in trouble for it. This comes to us from Blaze Media. The Pentagon does not bend to liberal reporters and takes their badges. Now, we talked about this before, and I actually went and looked at the rules. There is no changes to the rules, with the exception of places that can and can't be inside the Pentagon. And one of the ones they're bitching about the most is inside an inner area where there is a gym. And apparently, I guess, operators and people on the tip of the spear go in there and they exercise. That's their gym. And they told them they want the media out. And that's one of the things that they're fussing about. So we're having a fight because the media wants access to a gym where classified people go to work out in peace.
Yeah.
That's one of their points. So everybody has turned in their badges. The AP, the Atlantic, CNN, Fox, Times, Politico, Reuters, however you pronounce it, Task and Purpose, Wall Street Journals, The Post. They're not going to sign the agreement and go by the new policies. And they had till 5 p.m. on Tuesday to get out. It's actually extended till later in the day, but they had to get out. The other thing that was new, there really was no new rules. It was highlighting the rules in effect. And you can go read it. It's online. Just like you can go read the clean bill that they have voted on for like the 16th time, voted nay and turned it down. This is nothing new, aside for, like I said, there are certain places now they're saying you cannot be inside the Pentagon. And that's because we have people in here and they might have something on their desk and you could look down and go, oh, I'm going to tell the world about that. So, yeah. So, and the other, so they're two big sticking points. And I read this and I was literally shaking my head when I was reading it. One of the things was, like I said, the gym. And I don't see that there's an issue. Go to another damn gym. We're not paying for your gym. You're with the media. That's not your job. You're supposed to be here to report. The other thing was, they were told that they were going to have to get new badges, which clearly showed from a distance which agency they were with, and they had to be worn at eye level at all times. And that offended the media.
Oh, geez. Oh, my goodness.
I'm serious. Those are their sticking points. The same media, Chris says the same media never complained when Biden could never show up for a press conference for years. Agreed. So, day after they were given the order, Pentagon sent them a publication waving goodbye. The Department of War confiscated all the Pentagon badges, reporters, and virtually every major media organization in the United States. So it's according to the PPA, which is the Pentagon Press Association, a group of them, October 15th is a dark day for press freedom that raises concerns about a weakening U.S. commitment to transparency and governmentship.
I just get left speechless. There's so much stupid.
This outlines credentialed members of the press who are authorized American citizens can access. That was one thing that was changed, to be authorized American citizens. They must ensure their press credentials are visible and worn above the waist while inside. These are their points that they don't like. They cannot roam around various locations within the Pentagon without an escort from authorized War Departments. Members of the press are not required to submit their writings to the War Department for approval, but they must be approved for public release. An appropriately authorizing official is released by any military member. In other words, if a military member is telling you that, it must be properly vetted from the military before they let it out.
Do you think China or Russia lets their military go inside their little secret hub? No, nope, they have to stand outside.
Yes. And this was another sticking point, that they could have their credentials revoked or not renewed if they solicit government employees to violate law by providing confidential information. Those are their sticking points. So they want their gym. They want to be able to wander wherever they are. And if they ask somebody, hey, can you tell me this off the record? They can't get in trouble. Yeah.
I say just go ahead, keep their badges. And if they want to know anything, wait till somebody comes outside and gives them a briefing of it.
Here's the thing. It's really not new news. This happens under every new administration, new secretary, and they have to sign the agreement to get their credentials. And like I said, the only new things are they're not allowed free access. And if Bob Smith, the private from the Department of Army, speaks to you and tells you that this, and this, before you publish it, you must verify that it's true and that he has the authority to actually tell you that. Now, I'm not a trained reporter, but that sounds to me kind of like what reporters are supposed to do.
Right. And you know, they're just they bring it to people's attention so that they can make it seem like it is something new and that this administration is bearing down on them when it is something that they have to go through every time.
Yeah, and there's a few new things in there, like the American, you got to be an American journalist, so no foreign press, which I don't disagree with. And like I said, that they can't go to if you have people who are on the tip of the spear doing things for a country that we don't necessarily want out there, and they want to work out inside the Pentagon, I think that's their prerogative. We are not paying for the media to have access to a fucking gym. I'm sorry. Get over it. You know, go to LA Fitness, go somewhere else, spend your own damn money and don't waste mine. These things that they get there, they're upset at that. In the badges must be at eye level. I'm not even going to address why that's an issue. Just use your freedom of imagination. So this comes to us from Vox, VOX. What is behind the news? There may be alien technology, mysterious comment that has surprised even scientists. It did something yesterday too. The comet tail turned towards the sun. Yes, you heard me correctly. The tail of the comet, which is what it sounds like, it's the tail, it physically moved and pointed towards the sun, deflecting the energy coming from the sun at it. Interesting. Strange celestial body called 3I Atlas is passing through our solar system and has sparked a debate that ranges from scientific laboratory to online forums of cosmic conspiracy theories. I heard one that CERN was already in contact with them through opening a portal yesterday. I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but okay.
Well, that would explain why you can't find it.
Well, that's true. It's here. You can see it. You go online. It's not there. Where did it go? So, the Harvard professor is also an author of the book Extraterrestrials, known for his unconventional ideas. He's published several pieces this year suggesting that it may not be a natural event. It may be an extraterrestrial intelligence. He points out that the trajectory is extremely regular and aligned with planets, as if it's been carefully chosen. No accelerations other than gravitational ones have been observed, meaning the body is more stable than a regular comet. There's an unusual ratio of carbon dioxide to water that may indicate unnatural material. And he emphasizes that he is not announcing the arrival of aliens, but urges that science must not be afraid to test these bold hypotheses. So NASA and many astronomers say it's a comet. So the orientation of the orbit is not so unique as to rule out coincidence. The missing accelerations can be explained by the fact that the object is emitting heavier dust. So in other words, it emits heavier dust and speeds up, and then it slows down. So far, no metallic structures or artificial signals have been detected. It did turn a light on and shine it on Mars, though. So
Yeah.
and once it was hit by the first solar storm, it changed color. So Denise, I asked her to come on. I needed a partner in crime. So but all right, so that's it for our alien news. We heavily await October 29th for our alien overlords to come get us. So
Please.
please come get us. Save us from these people in charge.
I know.
They should plan No King's Day to coordinate it with October 29th to be No Alien Day. Well, he probably can't say that. No. No Aliens Day.
It'll happen
No
though one day.
Extraterrestrial Aliens Day. How about that?
Yeah. No see-through little green men with long fingers.
Yeah, how are they going to hold a Coke? I don't know. Will they use a straw?
Yeah, that's what we can do. We'll run out there to Atlas with signs that say, "Here, have a Coke and smile."
There you go. So, wouldn't it be funny if we discovered that this is actually a ploy by Coca-Cola to sell more Coca-Cola?
You know?
Stranger things have happened.
Yes, they have.
And Coca-Cola has done something. So,
well, and Oreo. Have you seen the new Oreo cookies?
I got like 50 of them. Chris says their speed up and slow down dust theory is horseshit. I agree. It's like taking a poop. You feel lighter after taking a poop, so you go faster. I just made it simple science.
They made new Oreo cookies that are after the Stranger Things upside down world.
Is it white on the outside and black on the inside?
Well, they look orange, like Halloweeny.
Okay. I haven't seen these. My mother is the Oreo queen, so if there's a new Oreo out, she has to have it and try it. And while I was there in Tennessee, I think like 8 different ones came out, and some of them were so horrible. I was like, "Why did you buy like a cinnamon Oreo? Why would you buy a cinnamon?"
Yeah, no, cinnamon don't go with Oreos.
Yeah, it was cinnamon and mocha. Yeah, it was not very good. I don't remember the exact name of it, but yeah. So, and for some reason, East Tennessee seems to get every one of them that comes out. So exactly, Chris. What is wrong with Oreos that needed changing? So now the double stuffed ones are kind of cool, but I can't have but like one of them with a glass of milk because my diabetes will start acting up. Good Lord, they're sweet. So.
Well, I usually will take some insulin, and then I'll get a half a glass of milk, and I'll get about 3 Oreos, double stuff, and then I'm done. Can't have no more.
I'm not a diabetic, but after having one of those double stuff,
my God,
through the roof. So I haven't got to the point where I'm supposed to check my sugar. I have a meeting with the doctor today that may change, but
that used to be my go-to sweet once a month. We always had Oreos in the house once a month.
Reese cups.
And I would only eat a couple at a time, and I never went through not even half a bag, so I didn't do too bad. I
sat down at the firehouse with the guys, and we've demolished a whole thing of Oreos. I'm not going to say I've never done that, but my go-to is always, of course, my mother being the chef or cook, baker, whatever. Oreos were not the number one. It was always chocolate chip and homemade. But if we were going to go to something store-bought, it was always for me Reese cups. So, or every now and then maybe a Mr. Goodbar. But
I think I seen a thing where they said they were combining Reese cups with Oreos.
yeah, they did. They weren't very good. It had an Oreo bottom with a little bit of white and then the peanut butter and chocolate. And it was, once again, it's too sugary. I don't like that. So
yeah.
No chocolate chip. If my favorite cookie is chocolate chip, and I guess my second favorite would be just a regular Oreo. So. Well, FEMA is operating on a limited budget, so they didn't get their daily operations briefing to the president this morning for Wednesday. They're a day behind. There's one guy in there.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bubba Gilligan. He's the one.
And the only person he reports to is the president, so it's hard for him to keep up.
So he's at this point he's like, I'm not getting paid for this shit. Why am I here? So the only thing that they are monitoring as of yesterday, which would be today, rain and thunderstorms in southern Colorado, New Mexico. We still have Lorenzo out there. There's another one that's got a chance of maybe forming out in the central, Pacific, and then the one in the western Pacific is not expected to do much. Coastal flooding in Alaska. We talked about this for the past couple of days. They have been getting their asses handed to them up in Alaska with the typhoons and heavy rains. So that is going to be an issue. And so we will take a closer look at much more recent information than this. The president's public schedule today. Well, he has the in-camera time of 9 a.m. for the media. They must be there. Good Lord, go away. I don't want why do these pop-ups show up? It's just about pop-up. At 11 a.m., he received his intelligence briefing. Interesting. And right about now, he is making an announcement. Well, let's go find out what this is, because yesterday it seemed like an important announcement. This came out from a judge. They ordered that they must wear body cameras. Okay. I mean, okay. I don't have a problem with law enforcement officers wearing body cameras.
Me neither.
34 minutes ago, the Kremlin hails Putin-Trump call as frank and trusting. So there you go, Chris. They said it was frank and trusting. That's not American words. That's the Kremlin.
Beautiful, frank, and
okay. Chris can work that out for me.
Yeah.
Trump calls for countries to oppose special fee meant to reduce fossil fuel usage in container ships. 35 minutes ago, Thune says Senate will consider Russia sanctions legislation. Why are they going to do that when they can't even agree on how to pay our government? So 38 minutes ago, military retirees criticize possible National Guard deployment to Chicago. You retired. We don't care anymore. So does that mean coal sales in western states has fallen flat? Oh. Energy Department offers $1.6 billion loan guarantee to upgrade power lines across the Midwest. Now, hold on a minute. Wasn't a previous administration, they didn't like make America great again, but it was something about dealing with the infrastructure. Wasn't that a previous administration's thing they ran on? I don't remember what they called it, but they were going to make the infrastructure more secure. Well, why are we just now putting 1.6 billion? Build back better. That's it. Build back better.
My butt.
why are we just now doing it? So that's why a lot of people are blaming things that are going on this administration. This administration's policies haven't had a complete time to get in effect. We're still living from the effects of the last administration. 151, Trump warned Hamas, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them if the bloodshed persists in Gaza. That's some pretty stiff talk there. You might want to walk that one back.
I doubt it.
I really don't think so. And Wendell says, is the judge going to make them turn the cameras on? It's a good question.
Good question. Well, now here it is. I've been watching these little protests. Now my thing is they can wear body cams, but I'm going to bet $9 to a donut they're going to start getting them ripped off of them by the protesters.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, because, all right, all the, we'll just call them alternate media that is filming things, they're destroying their cameras.
Yep.
So
they're even slapping phones out of people's hands.
Yeah. Yep. So do they, I don't know. We'll see. And I have no problem with officers wearing body cameras, because even if they are an ICE or Homeland agent or whatever, they still have to operate within the law.
They should hold them, yes.
So the judge has permanently blocked Trump's administration from withholding $34 million to protect New York transportation from terrorist attack. You probably shouldn't have done that. Trump says he was on the phone with Putin. That was 11:40. We know now that was a 2-hour-long conversation. Details on body cam for Chicago area immigration agents are discussed. So, yeah. So, first off, who's going to see the footage? Who's going to oversee it? Like I said, I have no problem with doing it.
I think it's, if anything happens, they can turn around and say, well, we need that body footage, Yeah. It's not like somebody's going to sit there every day and go through all of their body cams.
Now, I do know a police agency just outside of Metro DC that has a civilian board that watches every officer's body camera that is filmed. In other words, if they turn their body camera on, a civilian review board will be viewing it. I don't know that I think we should go to that extreme, but the civilian review board is not all funded. A lot of it is volunteer.
Look, they're not paying. Yeah, because they're not paying FEMA, so I could volunteer to do that from my home.
Well, no, FEMA is funded. So, no, I mean, maybe not the actual operations, but the actual inner workings of FEMA is funded. So, but
I would volunteer to do that from my home. I have the experience, so. There you go.
Like I said, I have no problem with them wearing body cams. I think they should be within the law. And, I did this story on my radio show today where we talked about the masks, because so many of them are wearing masks. Mm-hmm. Do you know that there have been more arrests here in the past week based on people's underwear? They couldn't make out their face, but they have footage. Doesn't say if it's security cam, body cam, whatever. Well, I mean, it did, but it's different, multiple kinds. And during scuffles, when their drawers are sagging down, they've had some people that had some very specific underwear, and they identified them through their underwear.
So, are they not changing their underwear? Is that how they know it's the same person?
I think that that they tracked them down through it somehow, but
probably smell.
Well, one of them was a person got into a scuffle with a agent, and the dog bit him, but in the scuffle they got away. He showed up at like 4 counties over with a dog bite, and they couldn't prove it was him because he didn't have the clothes, didn't have the mask, none of that on. They couldn't prove it until they rolled back the video of his underwear.
Lord have mercy. Where there's a will, there's a way, I guess.
Yeah. So, Chamber of Commerce has sued the Trump administration over $100,000 fee for H-1B visa. Okay. The Chamber of Commerce, the country's biggest business lobby, has filed a lawsuit against Trump for $100,000 fee is imposed on new applications as a popular kind of foreign work visa. Okay. Let's see. I still say we don't want to put boots in the ground over there in Israel. Nope.
Not yet.
Food assistance is safe through October, but risks grow if the shutdown continues. So, we talked about all this. Federal judge on Thursday said she will require all immigration officers in Chicago to wear body cameras. She also said they did not follow previous orders from her, barring the use of tear gas and other weapons on peaceful protesters.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, here's the deal. If you're in the middle of it and you feel like you're not safe,
Get away from them.
Yeah, are you not gonna? Yeah. She says she's not happy. Well,
Look at, I'm watching this stuff live as it folds out every night. There isn't a peaceful protest out there. They're doing things they should not be doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are peaceful protests. That's not true. The people who rode naked in the street and laid down in the middle of it, although it was unique, it was still peaceful. So, like I said, I support their right to protest, even if you want to lay naked in the street.
But what protest?
I just wish that the people that wanted to do that type of protest were photo worthy.
Yeah, hold your signs, walk around, speak your piece. Yeah. Don't get up and chest bump an officer.
Yes.
No. Don't get up in their face and spit on them. Yep. Don't block traffic. Don't, when they're trying to take somebody down that has done something, don't dogpile on them. That's not peaceful. That's stupidity.
Yep. And don't interfere with him trying to effect arrests.
Right.
If they feel that they have to make an arrest, then they're officers of the law. They should. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's jump into the weather here. We have that awful purple stuff, mixed precipitation in the higher elevations of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, Utah, and parts of the Cascades up in Washington. The center of the country is where we're going to be keeping our eyes open for some severe weather happening. Anywhere from the Four Corners over to Memphis, Arkansas area. So there will be spotty showers throughout the day in the Great Plains, in the Ohio Valley, and in the Midwest. Of course, Florida, you're always ready for a good soaking. So see, tomorrow, which is Friday, it is Friday. As that moves across, we're going to be more concerned about the energy in the center of the country, primarily Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and of course, Texas. You remember some of these storms that are moving across are the same ones that caused tornadic activity in California. So, and by Saturday, well, it looks as though we're going to be concerned about that area, like I was just talking about. Missouri, Kansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Texas, all the way down to Louisiana could have some extreme weather. And while West Tennessee and Kentucky could have extreme heavy flooding and storms. So that cold front's trying to push through the south, and it's going to cause some problems. But by the weekend, it could be a rainy and stormy in the Midwest and in the deep south. And Washington and Wyoming and Oregon could be getting some significant snow over the weekend. Let's look at today. Possible for tornadic activity is fairly slim, but not ruled out in the Midwest. Looking at some high winds are possible in the Midwest. So if you are listening to this in those areas, please be weather aware. The cold energy isn't made quite the impact yet, but it is coming. So we talked about that already, the Prediction Center. And let's talk about our friends in Australia so that we make sure we keep them up to date on their weather. And let me make this full screen. So in Sydney, it is 23. The winds are northwest at 11 kilometers. You're going to get a high of 32 today. Showers and storms developing later in the day. Melbourne, you're at 14. Going to get to 20 today with cloudy skies. Very little chance of rain. Brisbane, you're at 17 right now. Expected to get a high of 28 with sunny skies. Adelaide, you're at 13 currently. You're going to get to 21, but it's going to be partly cloudy skies with calm winds. Hobart, well, you're going to be a little windy out of the north-northwest at 19 kilometers an hour. Right now, you're at almost 12, and you're going to get to a high of 16, so it's not going to get a whole lot warmer. Canberra, well, currently it's 17. It's some northerly winds at 20 kilometer hours gusting. You're going to get to a high of 27, but throughout the day, it's going to become more windy. It's going to become more windy. It's going to become more windy, but stay mostly sunny. Darwin, well, you're right now at 25 degrees. It's not very windy. It's out of the northeast at 11 kilometers an hour. You're going to get a little bit warmer. You're going to make it to 36 today with a possible shower or two, and maybe a storm even later in the afternoon. So that is from the Australian Bureau of Meteorology. Please be weather aware as conditions could change. There you go. Areas where they're worried about the most rain over the next 24 hours. Well, always worried out in the Midwest. I'm sorry, not the Midwest, the Southwest. No, that's not right either. The Northwest. Good Lord, Glenn, get it right. Oregon and Washington could see some heavy rains up by the Canadian border and coming over into Montana as well. But coming down through the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley today could be considerably rainy and wet if you're in certain parts of Illinois, Ohio, and Kentucky, Indiana area. So be weather aware. Taking a bigger picture and zooming out and looking at all the possible precipitation we see down in Australia, well, there's not a great deal of precipitation anticipated, except for maybe around Newcastle, a little bit north of there up to Port Maguire, and a little west to, is that Kenilworth? Tamworth. So be prepared there. You could see some heavy rains. And we'll go back back up to the States, and we will check out and see. It's pretty much where we talked about the Dakotas and Montana. Those areas are going to have the heaviest rain today, and that's going to, like I said, it's going to be moving across, and over the weekend, deep south could see some heavy rains and storms. Looking at the tropical outlook, well, it looks good for the moment. There is nothing out there that is causing them concern or alarm. And we'll look at the full picture and see if there's anything storming up out there. Wendell, how am I ignoring you again? So Wendell says, why don't Trump just put a contact on the leaders instead of declaring war on the country? Well, we do have a $50 million bounty. So if you're talking about Venezuela, looking at the big picture there from the National Weather Service, or I guess that would be more like the NOAA, you see there's not really much out there. So that is good news. We want to keep it that way. Let's take a look at the bigger picture and looking for any activity. Nothing in the Atlantic at all. The one down here off of the west coast of Mexico is anticipated to keep moving out to the northwest and not do anything. Google does have one down in the Caribbean that could cause some potential. We'll keep an eye on next week. And if you look over here in the North Atlantic, that's just the remnants of Humberto traveling off. And it doesn't look as though there's much happening on this map as far as high wind speeds up in Alaska. We'll take a look at the radar here in a minute. Asia has been getting their butts handed to them with some typhoons. So look at current weather watches and warnings. And what do we have there right off from Weather Warn? Brenda, what's that say?
What's what say where? I have one eye, and I'm over here trying to follow you. But did you also know that spicy barbecue pork rinds are really good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, keto.
I had to shove some in my mouth. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing. What I was referring to is, well, there's the test message from Montgomery County, Maryland, right up top. Every few hours. North Dakota has got a dense fog advisory, frost advisory in Colorado. And let's see what else we got down here of note. Yeah, most of these small craft gale advisories are along the coastal areas, interior and exterior of the U.S. Frost advisory in Pennsylvania. It's getting colder out there. New York has a frost advisory. And let's see. Hazardous beach statement in California. Yeah, there's earthquakes and all kinds of things. Rip currents on the East Coast, probably down in the Gulf of America. And there we go. Connecticut and New York, West Virginia, frost and freeze warnings extending into Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So Did I say Maryland? Maryland as well. Maryland, Virginia.
Did we bypass spring? Is that what happened? I don't
No,
know.
it'll
Really?
be back. This is just
It'll be
false.
back? Okay.
For a week or two. This is just false fall. So
Oh,
Utah is a deep freeze watch, and of course flood warnings down in Florida are pretty consistent. Let's see. Heavy freezing spray warning. All right, that's up in Alaska. See now, so it's moved to the the north side of Alaska, and now they have to worry about heavy freezing rain spray. Good Lord. I want to go visit there, but I don't know when to go visit.
it's actually really beautiful there.
As
In
the
a lot
pictures
of
I've
places.
seen, it is great. Yeah. So,
But they should start getting bombarded now. The weather people need to leave them alone.
Yeah. It's been crazy. Vermont has a special weather statement, and what is it? Fine fuels. What? Fine fuels remain dry. Okay, so it's a fire warning. All right, for most of southern Vermont. Must be dry, tender conditions. Wyoming, high wind warnings. That's a very serious one. South Dakota has some flooding warnings issued. Take a quick look at the overall picture, and we see along the East Coast, we still have those gale warnings up from Boston, Maine, all the way down to the entrance of the Chesapeake. And then inland, we start to look in on the East Coast, and we start to see, well, we're getting those frost and freeze warnings from the Atlantic all the way over to the Great Lakes. And then looking out to the Midwest, we see those storms that we were talking about. Right now, there's no particular storm warnings issued, but there are some pretty significant storms. High wind watch, that is in, where's that? That is in Wyoming, right? No, North Dakota. So, right? Yeah. South Dakota. And freeze warnings, of course, we talked about in the higher elevations in Utah, Colorado, the Cascades. Let's take a look at the bigger picture for the entire world and see what we got here. We'll jump down to Australia, and we see our friends down there. Well, they have had for Western Australia, severe heat warning has been issued. A severe heat wave warning for Western Australia, and for South Australia, severe heat warning. And if you're over on the coast, well, they've got severe thunderstorm warnings in Canberra. That is mixed almost all the way down to Melbourne, where they have the high wind warnings. So, high strong wind advisory for coastal waters between Cape Otway and I need better glasses. I can't read all that. Basically, the east coast of Australia is got some strong wind advisories all the way down into Tasmania. So in the higher elevations, they must have the warning for the sheep. So, and over in Perth, looking there, they have some strong wind warnings for the coastal waters there. So,
they do this thing out there called a shoey. You know what a shoey is?
No, I do not know what a shoey is.
They pour a beer into a shoe and drink it out of the shoe. It's called a shoey.
They did this in Australia?
Well, I know around there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta say, I've never heard that. So, all right.
Looking
at the electrical activity, we see that pretty much the one coming down is going to be from Aberdeen, Sioux Falls, stretching southwest down through Kansas and back over to Wyoming and Colorado. That storm has got a considerable amount of energy in it as that cold front is pushing across. And looking up here in the deep north, and where is this? This is at the Canadian line in Minnesota. There's a pretty good sized storm up there. So it's got some electrical activity. Those are the two biggest. They're both associated with that cold front pushing down. And of course, Florida, you've always got a chance of some pop-up showers there as well. So let's look down in Australia and see if there's any electrical activity. And yes, we actually do. Victoria, just north of Melbourne, there's a pretty good sized storm right there. going through Shepparton, Bendigo, and the Alpine National Park. So northeast of Melbourne. That storm has got a lot of electrical activity to it. There's a smaller cell up near Tamworth in the Pilliga East State Forest. It's not as large as the other one, but that one down just northeast of Melbourne has a little punch to it. So be weather prepared and weather radio. Let's see if where the power outages are in the U.S. right now. And well, California, 10,922 people. That is the largest area without power. And followed by Michigan, Pennsylvania, Texas, Louisiana, North Carolina, Minnesota, and Jersey. So it's funny. I would have expected in the Midwest to see more power outages, like, from Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, but California has got the most, and it looks like it's all right along the Bayside. So, all right. And Brenda, you look like yours in Texas are more down on the western southwest side.
I know it's not over here.
Yeah. Not yet. All right, before we get out of here, let's look at the high spots. So let me change this back to, let's go down to, we'll go down to Australia before I change it first and look at the hot spots down there. And it looks like Darwin in Broome is your hot spot at 28 currently, followed over on the East Coast by McKay and Townsville at 22 and 23 respectively. It's still cool down in Perth at 15, Adelaide 13, Melbourne 13, Sydney 22, and Canberra 12. I'll jump here to the U.S. real quick and change this to Fahrenheit so that I have an idea of how hot it is because I can't do the math that quick in my head. I used to could, but I can't anymore. So. All right. So currently, right now, Brenda, looks like Texas is going to be the hot spot. Houston at 87.
And it's only 81 where I'm at, so I'm okay.
San Angelo 83, Odessa 83, Austin 84, San Antonio 86. The heat extends all the way up through the Midwest. We see there Oklahoma City, Tulsa in the high 80s. Memphis, you're coming in at 85 right now. Jackson, Mississippi 88. Mobile, Alabama, 85. Tallahassee, you're kind of warm today at 87. We see all those areas. That's where the thunderstorm activity is going to be. Let's look at some weather forecasts real quick. Boston, well, you're going to make it to 55 today, partly sunny. Jumping down to New York City. You're going to have a high of 60, sunny skies today. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. You're going to be in the high 60, mid 60s, sunny skies. Washington, D.C., it's going to be breezy and 64 as your high. Knoxville, 75 degrees, and that's your high today. Sunny skies. Atlanta, well, you're currently at 80, and that's your high. Sunny skies today. Jumping over to the West Coast, and we see Los Angeles. We run out of time here. It is going to be a high of 76, sunny skies. Going up to Eugene, Oregon. I'll bypass Portland. It is going to be a high of 60 with partly cloudy skies. And going back to the Midwest, we look at Milwaukee and see 62 and partly cloudy skies today. Chicago, you're going to be a little warmer at 64 with cloudy skies. Memphis, well, you're coming in at 85 today. That's your high. Sunny skies. It's going to stay in the 80s until next week. So that cold front's going to come through. Let's see. There is no heat risks at the moment. And taking a look at the big, beautiful round globe, well, we don't see a lot of wind activity except for around Alaska up there on the Barrier Islands in both the north and south coasts. So even up to the Arctic Circle some. Whew. Australia looking down at you. And it's going to be a relatively calm, wind-free day. Let's see. Let's skip ahead through this. Smoke from the fires through much of the central and Midwest could cause for some smoggy conditions today. And let's just go here real quick. No tsunami warnings, advisory watches or threats are currently in the U.S. And the most recent, what was that? Somewhere over here, I got most recent earthquake. Maybe? No? Maybe? Yes? No? Thought I did. All right. Nope. Here we go. In the past, we'll go to the past hour. Zoom out and see none in the U.S. Go to the past 24 hours, and we talked about the ones out on the West Coast. We see even one in as far as Oklahoma. So, past 24 hours, they had a 2.1 in Oklahoma. Many of them out on the West Coast, small quakes, as you were telling me about, or telling us about. Don't annoy me. In the past 24 hours, South Australia had a 2.4 on the 15th, about almost 24 hours ago. So there you go. And let's see. All right, before we jump out of here, we're looking to see if there's anything interesting up in the sky.
Oh,
Let's see if we see anything, and looking for anything interesting along the coast. Any P8s, looking for subs. Looks like there's a lot of trainer flights up today. And I'm not seeing any P8s. Lots of trainer flights. And on the West Coast, I'm not seeing any P8s. Doesn't mean they're not out there, but I don't see any right off. Take a quick look at Sky Glass. Refresh this real quick because we're about out of time. And zooming out what I'm, it's crazy. Zooming out what I'm mainly, no, I'm too far out. There we go. What I'm mainly concentrated on this one are these high flyers and the things way up in the sky that are observing us. And we got that one up there at 90,000 feet, dead smack over the center of the country, and one in the southwest at 80,000 feet. Just keeping an eye on things. So it looks like the ones on the east and the south, they've pulled out of service for today. But the one in the center of the two in the center of the country, wow. Now right at 80 and 90,000 feet. Whew, goodness gracious. They're listening for something in the Midwest. Don't know what, but they're listening for something. Skies are plenty. You can go find all this. This is not classified. This is all open source. And feel free to find it anytime you want. Let's see. Well, I don't have, I guess I didn't bring up Bitdefender today. So, okay. Well, all right. We can live without it. Brenda, you got anything going on, or am I going to see you again tomorrow?
I will be here tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm trying to get with Susie to see if she wants to do a show tomorrow night. And I'll be starting back up my shows next week with Chad. So,
all right. Well, sounds good. And you're going to stay with me, right? You're not going to abandon me, are you? Okay.
Yeah, I only do those at night. So
okay. Good. I don't want you to run off and leave me. So
no, and everybody that watches from beyond the box, thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody on Radio X, Dare Talk Radio in Australia, thank you for tuning in. Guys and gals, I do appreciate you listening, but if you really want to help me out, you'll come over to YouTube and give me a sub and a like, and we can get monetized, and I've got some other plans on some things going to do. So we'll talk about that, hopefully, as we get monetized. And I will be back tomorrow, and then I'm off for the weekend. No shows over the weekend. So I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. You can catch me on Dare Talk Radio, Radio X in Australia, and of course, right here on the tubes. Brenda and I will be telling you breaking news, bullshitting you, telling you what's going on, farmers market, all the ones. Everybody have a great day. Yeah, great day, great morning. We will see you in 22 hours-ish.